And he pushed me so hard in mathematics that I was first in my class, that they put my mathematics class with the older children 1 year in advance. And I did go through with a double degree in accounting and financial planning. I failed accounting though in high school. I hated accounting. I thought it was very, very boring. Today, I now know how to read profit and loss, cash flow statements, and balance sheets. What I want you to know is that my parents definitely never thought that Nick Vujicic, without arms and legs, could go on 2,500 planes around the world, meet 17 presidents, and speak to 10 governments, where governments change their laws and their practices to bring in more special needs children into an education system or society. Who ever thought that a man without arms and legs could reach out to the world and hug the world? I hug everyone that I can see. I hug everyone that I can see, and the scary thing about hugging so many people is someone can just pick me up and take me home, and I can't stop it. But I will tell you that in my life, I never imagined that I would be a speaker. It wasn't a dear friend that told me that I would be a speaker. I was 17 years old, and I was at school, grade 11, and I happened to walk past the janitor, the one who cleans the toilets at our school. Did you ever know the name of the janitor at your high school? Did you ever say hello to them? I did. And one day, guess what? He looked at me and he said, "Hey, Nick." I said, "Yes, Arnold?" He said, "You are going to be a speaker." And I said, "Excuse me?" He said, "You are going to be a speaker." Now, nowhere in Arnold's job description did he have in the description of his responsibilities to make sure that he inspires the limbless boy at school. Little did he know that that little belief in the limbless boy at school would now become a speaker speaking in front of 8 million people face to face and 1.6 billion people on TV. He didn't have to open his mouth. He didn't have to take time to look at me in the eye. He didn't have to do anything, but he did. And look what happened when he invested that one moment of belief in me. It was amazing, but I actually rejected it very harshly. I said, "You are crazy," and I walked away. He came up to me the next day and he said, "Nick, you're going to speak." I said, "No." He said, "Nick, can you please speak here at this school? I will even organize an event with 7 students here in the school, and I just want you to share your story." I said, "I don't have a story." He says, "Yes, you do." I said, "No, I don't." He says, "Yes, you do." I said, "Leave me alone." And I walked away. The next day, he sees me, and I look at him, and I run away. He runs after me. After 3 months, I finally said yes, because he got so annoying. And in front of 6 students or 7 students, I spoke from my heart. And I was very nervous. My palms were sweaty, my knees were shaking. I didn't know what I was going to talk about. And then I started seeing this girl cry, and I'm like, "Are you okay?" And she's like, "Uh-huh." I said, "What's wrong?" She says, "Nothing. I was just touched in my heart." And I'm like, "Really? Cool." They said, "Can we get your number?" I said, "Why do you want my number?" They said, "We're going to call you to maybe speak again." I said, "Are you serious?" They said, "Yes." I started getting calls from different groups and churches and some other groups of students. And I spoke around ages 17 to 19 around 12 times. And one night after a speaking engagement, my mum was waiting for me and the people who took me there to the speaking engagement dropped me back off at home, and my mom is looking at me like this. And they said, "Hi Mom, we need to talk." And I'm like, okay. So we go around the house, and she sits down, and then she gets up and she's walking like this. And I'm watching her walking like this, and she's walking. You know what? I want to know the truth. I want to know what's going on. I said, what do you mean? What do you mean what's going on? What? She said, I don't know, but I want to know something. What are you doing? I said, what do you mean? She said, these strangers, they pick you up. I don't know who they are. They take you for 2 hours, and then when you come back, you're smiling and they're crying. What are you doing? And I said, I'm speaking. She says, what are you speaking about? I said, I'm sharing my story. She says, you have a story? I said, I think so. And she said, is this a hobby or a job? And I said, a job. She said, do they pay you? I said, no. She said, then it's not a job. She said, listen to what your father said, stick to accounting and financial planning, and make sure you don't let school go. Yes, no problem. At age 19, I spoke again, and a girl cried on this shoulder, weeping, saying, thank you, thank you, thank you. No one's ever told me that they love me. No one's ever told me that I'm beautiful the way that I am. Fathers, make sure you tell your daughters they're beautiful. Fathers, make sure you tell your daughters that you love them, and not just expect that they know. Tell them. This girl was suicidal, and her parents didn't know. And when she hugged me, and she cried, she said, now I know there's hope for my life. And I'm like, wow. When I was a kid, when I was 10 years old, I actually tried to end my life by drowning myself in a bathtub. I had bullying at school. I had a fear of being alone, that I'd never get married, I'd never have a job, and I'd never be happy. Guess what? I was wrong. And I'm so glad that beautiful things can come from your broken pieces when you give your broken pieces a chance. Have an attitude of gratitude. Don't be the victim, but be the victor. You can have victory and you can overcome. And not only can you overcome,